Hello, you're probably employed in a job you got with your college degree. Maybe you don't have many savings, expenses seem overly high, and you feel your salary is insufficient. Possibly you are dealing with credit card debt, or perhaps you are a student pursuing a degree, hoping for a well-paying job. You probably don't have financial reserves, just the weight of student loans on your shoulders. Wealth, becoming rich, seems distant and unattainable. How did they do it? You wonder as you observe millionaires and billionaires, especially the young ones. It confuses, irritates, and you think they were lucky, born with a silver spoon, were dishonest in accumulating fortune. That makes them dishonest. And you are not shrewd, you're just unlucky. Those dreams of acquiring a mansion, your favorite sports car, settling the mortgage, traveling the world, will remain just dreams, nothing more. You face the harsh reality that the system is rigged. It has always been rigged, and you are on the losing side. But what if I told you that you are mistaken? What if there was a formula for this, a true formula for wealth, a proven method about how money works? What if you didn't have to give up dreams of settling your parents' mortgage or traveling the world? Would you call me a liar for saying this? I assure you I'm not. And by the end of this video, you will see an aspect you hadn't noticed. But beware, the path is tough, filled with challenges and ups and downs. It will require you to face some uncomfortable truths that school and society didn't reveal. And let me be clear, many of you won't make it to the end. But for those who do, at the end of this path, there will be wealth beyond what you imagined. At the end of this path is the freedom to never worry about money again. So, are you with me? Are you sticking around? Then let's move forward. What do you really think about money? Is it something you work hard for? Is it earned or inherited? Is it the root of all evil? Are you desperate to have more? Have you spent most of your life chasing it? The reality is that most of your ideas about money have been shaped by your environment and upbringing. If you grew up in a home without many resources, you tend to believe you will also not have many resources. Or maybe you decided to accumulate as much as possible, so you'll never be in that situation again. The fact that your school didn't teach much about finances certainly doesn't help. And because of this, many of you have wrong beliefs about money that don't assist you on this journey. Now stay here, because we need to change the way you've always seen money. Hollywood often portrays the rich and powerful as evil, treacherous, privileged, or corrupt. Did you believe this stereotype? A recent study by WealthX showed that among the world's super rich, those with assets of 30 million or more, 68% of them were self-made, and it seems that all other studies corroborate this information. Warren Buffett, a self-made billionaire. Howard Schultz grew up in poverty. Oprah Winfrey came from poverty. Jeff Bezos, a self-made billionaire. Elon Musk, a self-made billionaire. Sara Blakely, a self-made billionaire. What do they know that you don't? The reality is that your formula is wrong. Here's the simplistic formula you learned. Money equals the salary from a job. After a while, the prospect of getting a job becomes the sole goal of your education. So, what's wrong with that, you ask? I'll assume that if you're watching this, you want to accumulate money, a lot of money, and in the shortest possible time. If that's your goal, then this formula for generating money will never get you there. We all have one valuable resource, the most important of all, and once it's gone, there's no getting it back. This resource is time. In a regular job, the amount of money you earn is proportional to the time you dedicate to work. If you earn $20 per hour and work 40 hours a week, it would take almost 24 years to accumulate a total of $1 million. But that's without deducting taxes or any expenses over those 24 years. And let's not forget that inflation would make your $1 million worth less. The reality is that with a $20 per hour wage, you would only really become a millionaire at an older age, living economically. and most of that precious resource known as time would have already passed. So again you ask, how are there self-made millionaires and billionaires so young? What sets them apart? And the truth is that they have a better formula than yours. They understand money in a way you haven't yet grasped. Now pay close attention. Stop chasing money. In a capitalist society, the rules of the game are as follows. You are paid proportionally to the perceived value you represent. And who perceives your value is the market, the consumers of the economy. The market is you, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your country. People complain that football players are overvalued, but for players to be paid millions, there must be a market for the football industry in the first place. People must see value in football to want to spend money on games and merchandise. And if the market has high demand for football, guess what happens to the players who are at the top of the game? They are well compensated for it. It's not about how hard you work. The janitor who sweats and tires every day is paid much less than the accountant sitting behind a desk. Why? Because the market sees the value of what the janitor does as much lower than that of the accountant. As harsh as it sounds, the janitor can be replaced by anyone. It's not hard to learn to do his work, and therefore the market will not pay more than for the accountant, the guy who spent years studying numbers, the guy who saved thousands for his clients in taxes. But even so, we just discussed how getting a job is not the right formula for accumulating a large amount of wealth in a shorter period of time. So, how can we increase our perceived value? What is it about people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos that makes their perceived value so high? The first step to this wealth formula is quite simple. If you want money, solve problems. If you take a moment to digest this statement, you'll realize that almost all money comes from this basic principle. If you solve a problem, money will be invested in it. If it's $1 million problem, then the solution will make you a millionaire. If it's $1 billion problem, then the solution will make you a billionaire. Think about all the problems a site like Amazon solves, the hassle of going to a store, the hassle of having to wait weeks for a delivery, lower prices and so on, not to mention all the other companies Amazon owns and the problems those companies solve. Jeff Bezos helped solve $1 billion problem and was favorably rewarded for it. If you've been chasing money, then you've been doing it all wrong. It seems almost paradoxical, but if you want money, it's not the money you should chase. You should look for problems and, more importantly, solutions to those problems. And once you find that solution, create a business around it. Wait, so is that it? Solve problems and the money will appear? So, I'll have to create the next Amazon to get rich or the next Facebook or Google. You must be joking with me, right? I don't even know how to code. I don't even have the money to start something of that scale. Wait, you're once again falling into old thought patterns. Start with a problem. Always start with a problem. Listen to the market around you. What are people saying they don't like? What are people saying they wish existed? What are people saying frustrates them? What do people find incredibly inconvenient? Is it a problem you can solve and also a problem worth solving? The final step of this wealth formula is finding a scalable solution to the problem. Your solution needs to affect a large number of people. Opening a restaurant? That's not scalable. You are limited to the local area and the pedestrian traffic of that area. But a franchise? Now that's more scalable. Is your solution a software? Then that means that once the software has been developed, you can scale it infinitely online without having to worry about things like production costs or shipping, as everything is done virtually. Good luck finding infinite scale with a job. But beware, does your solution require your time to make money? Let's assume you are a yoga teacher who charges $100 per hour. Congratulations, you just made yourself another job disguised as a business. There's only a certain number of classes you can give in a day, and therefore, Your income is limited by time. But if you create an online yoga class that works 24/7 with classes you only had to create once, now that's scalable. Scaling your solution is crucial here. Automation also plays an important role. Systems and processes will keep your business running like an efficient machine if implemented correctly. If there's something in your business that you can delegate to someone else or hire an employee to do for you, as long as it financially makes sense for you, then do it. Taking on everything is a bad idea. As much as you may think you're the best, there's someone out there who can do a better job than you. Once you've found a solution, it's your job to ensure that this solution can be accessed by everyone in your market. It's not about your ego, and it's not about what you're passionate about. The market doesn't care about your passions. So now that you have your profitable business up and running with the right systems and processes, it's time to move forward and reap what you've sown. There are two likely paths you'll face at this point. Either you continue your business or sell. This is the acquisition, the moment when someone buys the solution you've spent years building a business around. This is Instagram being acquired by Facebook for $1 billion. This is PayPal being sold to eBay for $1.5 billion, of which $165 million went directly into Elon Musk's pocket, and the countless other liquidity events that happen around the world. This is the moment when all the effort you put into building your company pays off. And if you choose to continue running your business, well, there are a plethora of reasons you might want to do that. Maybe you love the company you built and want to continue with your project. Maybe you think you can add more value to the company and sell it later for more than it's currently worth. Maybe this business works passively in the background so you don't need to do much to keep the gears turning. Or maybe it's a combination of these three things. Either way, you've made it. You've solved a problem that the market wanted solved and were favorably rewarded for it. And so I ask you, what was all this for, after all? For most of you, it was never about the money. Money is just a piece of paper, a number on a screen. Its value is only backed by our belief in its value. From the start, this was never about the money. Settling the mortgage, buying your dream car, traveling the world, never having to worry about your financial situation again. It's the freedom you were looking for. Your destination was never about money. It was a feeling, a sensation. The ability to do what you want, when you want, without ever having to think, can I afford this? Have I used all my vacation days for the year? How will I pay the rent? Will I be able to live on my retirement? What dreams will I have to sacrifice because I can't afford to pursue them? The most important lesson from this video was never about the nature of money. It was about the only valuable resource we all have, the only resource we can never get back: time. Is it worth giving up a large part of your time for a job you probably don't like? Does your life boil down to working, going home, watching TV, sleeping, waking up the next day, and repeating the same cycle until you retire? How many more hours of your life will you let slip away because of this pattern? Or maybe you're okay with this reality. Maybe you have no choice but to follow this path for now. And if that's the case, there's nothing to worry about. The most you got from this video was a bit of entertainment and maybe a change in perspective. But there are those of you who understand the other side, those of you who have the desire to never have to worry about money again. And so, I feel the need to remind you, stop chasing money and start chasing solutions to problems. This is the formula through which all money is found. If you want the freedom to never have to worry about money again, then let solving problems be the meaningful struggle of your life. Does this mean you will be happy at the end of the road? Does this mean you will feel fulfilled? Only you can answer that question. But if your struggle is meaningful, then maybe it's worth pursuing. And that's your formula for wealth. Of course, I missed a lot of details in this video. The topics of business, finance, and entrepreneurship are too vast for me to cover in a single video like this. And it's also important to go back to an original point I made at the beginning, which is that most people will not succeed for various reasons. But the most important part is to fail fast, and move on to the next thing. And if you're doing something that's not strictly related to a business, but you want to make money, then asking the question, what problems am I solving, can lead you to find ways to better monetize whatever you're doing. And this also includes a job and a career. If you can solve more problems and find more solutions in your workplace, you have something you can use to earn a higher salary. But I'll end all this with the same message I've repeated several times in this video. Stop chasing money and start chasing solutions to problems. Hey, you've reached the end of the video, and thank you so much for watching. But don't click away yet. I want to take a moment to say a big thank you for watching to the end. These things take several sleepless nights to research, write the script, film and edit, so you can't imagine how much I really appreciate your support. If you genuinely like this video, then don't be shy. Hit the like button.